Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Twin Peaks reaction video.
Hello.
I'm Special Agent Wade Bradford.
And I'm Mackenzie Bradford. That's it.
Not a special agent.
Nope.
So I have seen Twin Peaks a couple times.
Yeah.
And Mackenzie has not. I think a while ago you watched like one episode.
I think I literally watched just the half of episode 1 because I didn't know they were as long as they are. The first episode's about 2 hours. And I didn't expect that because I thought I had watched
it. Okay, so you only saw part of it.
Yeah.
And you don't know the mystery or the answers to the mystery of Laura Palmer.
Yeah.
And so today Mackenzie decided, hey, I want to watch Twin Peaks. So it's like, I want to record your responses.
Yeah.
Because I want to see how she does solving the mystery of the show, assuming that she gets into it. You know, you might.
No, I'm pretty into it. Okay. And it's only, I'm almost through the first.
Yeah, so I've basically, so I was going to do one episode at a time.
Yeah.
But Mackenzie's been binge watching it.
Yeah.
So I had it pause. It's like the last 10 minutes of episode 3. So
I don't know what happens.
So here's So we might watch the end of episode 3 and do another reaction if there's something interesting that happens in there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to during this series, if you choose to watch it, I'm going to do my best to not give it away any spoilers and just record Mackenzie's reactions. So let's and I've got some images of the characters. So I want to know your hot take on these characters.
Okay, and then also I'm gonna give spoilers away. But
that's right. Yeah, so spoilers up to episode 3.5
for the best viewing.
Yes.
With.
So if you haven't, if for some reason you haven't watched Twin Peaks and yet you're interested in watching it. Watch episode. Don't watch the rest of this.
Yeah.
Watch episode. Don't watch our video.
1 through 3.
Yes. To the last 10 minutes, then pause and come back and watch this.
Yeah.
People are gonna love this show. Yeah. Anyway, so tell us with your knowledge so far, what do you think of Laura Palmer?
Okay.
What kind of person was Laura Palmer while she was alive?
So while she was alive, what I'm gathering is that she was very like goody two shoes. She was the homecoming queen. Is that what it's called? I don't know. She was the homecoming queen. She had the football star boyfriend, and to most people's knowledge, she was a good person.
Okay.
She went to after school stuff. She was helping that Johnny boy with the special needs. Yeah. And then she also had Meals on Wheels. She organized it. So she was pretty adventurous with her curriculum after school.
She had a lot of things going on.
Yeah, and it seemed like she was very kind.
Yeah.
But she was possibly a drug dealer, possibly addicted to drugs. She's involved with something. She has a lockbox with a picture of a girl who was also found, who was mutilated. And then she has like a key with cocaine on it. They haven't done the autopsy drug test yet. We haven't found that out.
Okay. And the girl that you're talking about is Ronette Pulaski.
Yes.
Right. So there's a photo from a magazine.
It's called like Skin something. Or
all right.
Body Skin.
Something sleazy.
Yeah.
And okay. So good things and shady things are going on with her. All right. So I tried to gather photos in order of how we see the characters.
Yeah.
And now I'm not going. Now I need my glasses on because I can't quite see where they are.
Oh, nice.
So let's see. The first. Do you know the guy who discovers her body? Do you know his name?
Yeah. No, I don't know his name, but he's like the sawmill guy.
Yeah, so they're the mill workers.
Yeah.
So that's Pete.
Yes, and then that's Joe.
And Joe or Josie.
I like Joe.
And then we're seeing the back of Catherine. Catherine Packard's head. So why does Catherine suck?
Oh, because she's mean. And I don't trust her. She's about money, and she wants crime to happen so that the mill shuts down.
Okay.
That's an interesting side note.
Okay. And what do you think of Pete so far?
Pete seems like a genuinely good person, but he is married to her, right?
Okay.
As far as I can tell.
Yeah, they're married.
So the judgment there isn't great, so we can't trust him completely.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
And what about Josie is the first person we see in Twin Peaks?
Josie is?
I think so. I think when the film starts, when we see the credits, and we see she's like putting makeup on her face or looking at herself in the mirror.
I didn't even connect to that. But yes, we do. And I like her. She's dating the sheriff.
Okay.
So opinions could change.
Do you remember the sheriff's name?
No.
Harry Truman.
Harry Truman.
Harry S. Truman. Yeah.
Harry S. Truman.
Harry S. Truman.
Harry S. Truman.
Just like the president.
Okay, cool. I heard people say that and I was like, the president.
Yeah.
I didn't make the connection. They just call him the sheriff.
Yeah. So what do you think of Sheriff Truman?
I think he's trustworthy. He seems like he just wants to get down to the truth. He doesn't seem to mess around, and he likes my favorite character, which is the FBI agent. Okay,
we'll get to Dale Cooper in a little bit. All right, so Harry Truman finds Pete finds the body. And then they discover that it's Laura, and there's Doc Hayward there, and Harry S. Truman. Any thoughts about Doc Hayward?
Doc Hayward is like, wait, which one is he?
He is Donna's father.
Oh,
this is Donna.
Okay,
so his wife's in a wheelchair.
He seems pretty trustworthy.
Okay.
I was suspicious when he just straight up knew who the dead body was. Because that seems unrealistic, but there's parts of the show that are unrealistic. So my judgments are like based on realistic events, and
so you're not thinking of the meta actor aspect, where it's like maybe they're not doing the best performance, or maybe it's too good, or something like that. Yeah. So you're just going.
I'm going with
human nature. Human nature based on what you see.
Yes, he's not a suspect. But he's a little suspicious that he opened up the bag and he's like, yeah, Laura Palmer. I know exactly who this is, even though they're blue.
So they saw Laura identified Laura too quickly.
Yeah.
And this is Bobby's mom, Mrs. Briggs. We see her with the scissors.
Yes. When she came on with the scissors, I was like, that's the person. Like, just hunch, that's the person that killed Laura Palmer.
Because she's on the phone with scissors, talking to Sarah Palmer.
She's just got scissors, and I don't trust that.
Okay. And what do you think of Sarah Palmer?
Sarah Palmer, I like Sarah Palmer a lot. Okay. And now I think she has no connections to the murder. Other than it being her child. But
you mean like she's not responsible?
She's not responsible. Yeah. Like she did the best she could, and she didn't know a lot about her daughter. And it's interesting, all the like, oh, there's a scary man with long hair at my bed.
So she sees this guy.
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
What's your give us the context for what happens.
Okay, so she hugs whatever her friend's name. What's the friend's name of Laura?
Donna.
Yeah, she hugs Donna because she thinks it's Laura, and then she is like, she just goes, oh no, and then it flashes to that guy, and then she's like, she just screams uncontrollably, and the dad that I don't trust comes in.
Well, let's talk about the dad that you don't trust.
I don't trust him.
Leland Palmer.
I think he murdered his daughter. Now, we haven't seen very many scenes with him, but I legitimately think that's the killer or connected to the murder. The dad. He's my number one suspect.
So tell us why is he your number one suspect?
He's the number one suspect because when the sheriff comes in, he's like, is it about my daughter? First of all, very odd. You know? Like, he's just like, oh, my daughter's missing on the phone. And I get it. Like, oh, my daughter's missing. That's weird. I wonder if the sheriff's coming to talk to me about my daughter missing. Even though she's been missing for like maybe 4 hours. Yeah. Right? And she like, oh, maybe she went to school early kind of thing. And so like, you get off the phone. He's like, is it Laura? And then he just has a breakdown when he says yes, which doesn't make any sense because he jumped like way conclusion. Like he's like, oh, is it my daughter Laura? She's dead. And the guy doesn't say that. He's just like, yeah, it's Laura. And he's not like, oh my God, is she in trouble? Is she hurt? Is she in jail? He's just like
He just
straight to the
knows.
point. He's just like, my
He just
daughter's
knows.
dead. That's it.
All right.
And then when he sees the body, the only like 2 scenes we've ever seen him
Uh-huh.
in. Well, I guess he also hugs the mom, but like,
Yeah.
but like the other scene where he's like, "Yep, that's her." He doesn't go like, well, I mean, he doesn't do that, but he's like, "That's her," and then he like just like asks no questions. He's just like, "Yep, my daughter's dead. That's it. That's
so
all."
he's not saying why
He's
did
not
this
like,
happen.
"Are you looking for the person? What's the
okay.
next step?" That's not.
So out of the people that in the first 3 episodes, you've almost seen all of the first. He's the number.
He's my
Leland
number
Palmer
one suspect.
Is your number one suspect.
Yes.
All right.
Which is probably totally wrong, but that's my thought.
That's what you're going with. Okay.
That would be
and
the person
maybe
I'm
when we
looking
get through
into.
these, we'll see we'll ask about motivation.
Changes. Yeah.
Well, we'll see if it changes the episodes. But before we after we look at all the characters, I'm interested in your what you think might motivate any of the people, even if it's not. Now, do you have a number 2 suspect?
I do.
Okay.
The number 2 suspect. Well, it was Bobby during the first episode, but it is not Bobby.
Okay, it's
anymore.
not Bobby. Let's see what we got. We got Bobby and Mike here.
Yeah.
Okay, so but I heard you talk about Bobby like halfway through the episode. You
very quickly. I was like, because
like he was being honest.
You list everybody. Mm-hmm. You list everybody who's close to her. So you go like biologically, and you know that she was raped.
They talk about that.
They talk about that. So that
and there's also like this kind of thing was happening, right?
Yeah.
That Ron.
So it has to be like
and Laura were in the same place.
Yeah. Probably, or
That's
the weird thing. She doesn't have the thing in her finger. No, they haven't figured it out. They just assume, which I would be like, let's find out whose blood is in that crime scene. But I guess, I don't know. But so here's the weird thing is that like we have to rule out, because we know she's been raped or she's had sex with with 3 people, right? So the only way you can know that if it's,
so they've got the DNA evidence.
It has to be a guy, right? It has to be a guy.
Or at least there's a male involved,
yes.
Right? If it's more than one person, then.
So you got to look for a male suspect.
Yeah.
That's what you got to look for first.
So are you thinking that the crime, you know how there's different kinds of crime shows and things like that, and sometimes the crime is, oh, well, they got caught up in some kind of, criminal activity. And so they had too much information.
Right.
There's, this is just, there's a psycho serial killer kind of thing. There's a lot of different reasons, but what do you think that there's, what do you think is the nature of the motivation?
Okay. So my theory, now it's going to change a lot, but my theory currently is that it's a isolated incident that's different from her life of crime. So I think she has a life of crime, which put her in a bad situation where a psycho took advantage.
Okay.
That's my thought. Because there's already that other murder that they've kind of connected.
Dogs are like on the trail. You're on the trail to something.
Because there's the other murder with the H or the R in the finger.
Right, the fingernail.
Yeah. So they're looking for someone who's going to commit a crime. So
someone else before Laura has died a year before.
Yes.
Do you remember anything about that? Have they given any details that you remember about that?
They said that she didn't have a family.
Okay.
And she, nobody cared for the other girl. And so this is why it's the first time it's being brought up.
So nobody seemed to care about that first girl. You don't remember what that first girl's name is?
No, what is the first girl's name? I don't know.
Teresa Banks.
Oh yeah, okay, they did say
that. Okay, and she also had the letter.
The letter in her.
Do you remember the letters? Are you paying attention to the letters?
They didn't say what letter she had.
Oh, okay, so they didn't say what letter.
But because they haven't told anybody.
Gotcha. Did they say what letter was under?
Yeah, it was it's an R.
It's an R.
Yeah, they showed us. It was a little tiny R.
All right. But one more image of Bobby. What do you think of Mike?
Mike is the strangest wingman I've ever seen.
Okay.
He's just like a yes man for bad ideas.
All right, cool. Well, let's see. And Bobby's sort of secret
Yeah.
girlfriend, Shelley. What do you think of
Yeah.
Shelley the waitress?
I think she's interesting. She's connected to that one guy, Leo. Leo's
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Leo?
Okay, Leo, scary. That's okay. Here's the thing: is I think they're trying to throw us off because Leo is obviously connected to crime.
Yeah.
Right, and he may be connected to murders. They showed his picture of a truck with the picture of the girl who got all tied up.
Yeah.
That whatever her name was.
Talking about like mysteries in general, you know how like it seems like mysteries have a lot of times it'll be the ones like, well, that person's too obvious.
Yeah.
Is Leo that person?
Leo, I think, is that person, but like he would be my second. He'd be my number 2 suspect.
So he's your number 2 suspect.
He's my number 2 suspect because like you can't just go like, oh, he's too obvious, you know?
Because
it's like life isn't like that.
Sure. And you don't know with David Lynch, he's a different kind of guy. So it might be something where
just like it's him.
This is not an old-fashioned detective kind of mystery where it's like, wow, what a twist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also have suspicions. My number 3 suspect would be Ed's wife, the lady with the eye patch.
Nadine.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Nadine?
I think she probably has something to do with the murder.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if it's like targeted or if it's something that's.
What do you think of her? Remember she bends the exercise
she's really
equipment.
strong, and I think that's probably just David Lynch. But I took note of it, and she also here's my other thing that I'm stuck on. She talks about being up at 4 a.m, and that's when the crimes have happened so far. That's when Laura Palmer dies. They say from 12 to 4 is when she probably died.
So you think that she might be in some way responsible, or
like in something, or like she saw something,
okay,
like she doesn't know how to process it.
And Nadine's husband, Big Ed.
I like Big Ed. I don't know that I trust him.
What's suspicious about him or untrustable about him?
I don't know. Anytime that there's like a secret relationship, you have to put somebody on your list of like, what's going on?
Because he has
an affair with this lady, and she's also having an affair. So how much can we trust him?
And do we know anything about who she's married to yet?
I think I don't know who it is actually.
Okay.
But wait, no, is it the Leo?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not Leo.
She said his name, and I don't
it's a
remember,
character
that
you have not seen yet.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. So, let's get to
what about Log Lady.
You want to talk about Log Lady? Let's talk about Log Lady.
Log Lady made me laugh so hard.
Oh, whoa, Log Lady.
When they just were like going through like very generic, like, oh, let's talk about all the people here in this town, and then the agent goes, who's that with the log? Who's that lady with the log? And he just goes, oh, yeah, we call her Log Lady. And, like, no other description. And when she comes over with the log and she's like, my log saw something. And then they don't ask her what the log, like, they don't ask the log. I would have been like, what did you see, Mr. Log?
Yeah.
Just to get
I thought that Dale
said,
or is going to say that one, but she's going to, like, have the log talk to him later or something like that.
No, so she goes like this. She's like, my log saw something.
Oh, that's right. What did your log see?
What did your log see?
And ask it.
Ask my log. And he just goes, and then she friggin' walks away.
Yeah, he missed an opportunity.
He should have asked what the log. She was like, I thought so.
All right. Well, tell us. Let's get to Dale Cooper.
Dale Cooper's great.
So what's now? Is there any? I think it's safe to say that he comes across as a diligent Boy Scout, but is there anything that is suspicious about
I've never
him?
seen his badge.
Oh, okay, you've never seen his badge. He might
just
be solving crimes.
On in there, and they're like, "Yeah, he's the agent," and they just assume that he's the agent. First of all, why would you trust that guy? It's like a poor judgment on everyone in that town. Like, let me see your badge.
Just trust him.
And he's talking to Diane. Yeah, it's Diane. And so it's like, nobody's gonna like listen to all those. He's not like sending them somewhere. So what do
you think the deal is with tape recorder and Diane?
I feel like the tape recorder's name is Diane. If that makes sense. Like is just his little friend.
Yeah.
Like the log, kind of. Like on a spiritual level.
Sure.
But I feel like they really should have asked him for his ID. And maybe they did, and I just haven't seen it. But like, no one's asked him. He brings in like 3 other people, and they have no thoughts to ask them for their
Nobody's
ID.
ever going like,
no one's
let
like,
me see your identification.
FBI. They're like,
All right, that's a very interesting point. Well, what about this whiny boy?
oh, he's a sad little emo boy.
Yeah. James.
He's on my list of suspects. I know he's probably not, but I do think he has more to say. And so I would bring him in for more questions.
Yeah.
Definitely. He'd be one of the people I'd want to bring in more often.
And do you think that there's going, because right now everybody's talking about murder, do you think that it's going to turn out to be something other than murder?
I think it could be.
Okay.
I think, in all honesty, I think 3 male figures, different points of the night, are going to interact with her and have reasons to not want to come forward to the police. And then there's like some accident and like a whole like different set of people are involved. Right? Like we know she had sex with 3 people. But we don't know how she died.
Okay.
We haven't seen the autopsy report yet from those 3 maybe fake FBI agents.
The agents that haven't shown their badges. All right, this is not a good photo of Audrey Horne, but this is where she scares the Norwegians away.
The Norwegians are leaving.
So what do you think of Audrey Horne and her connection, if any, to Laura Palmer?
So she has an interesting, like, fake connection. You know what I mean? Like, she's connected, but, like, not her. She's not connected, but people she knows is connected. And I think we're going to learn some more about her father that's really scary.
Okay.
But I don't think he's involved. You
so
know,
you think
oddly
he's
enough.
shady?
I think he's shady.
And scary.
I think he's a scumbag. But I don't know that he did it.
Okay.
I'd put him on my list. Because I'd put everybody on my list.
Gotcha.
Every male figure.
So
I'd be like,
every
bring
male,
him in.
Every male in town.
Yeah.
Is on your list.
Well, except for the like, there's like some. There's like, well, that old man right there. Probably
what
not.
About somebody like Andy who's crying? Is that Is
it
he
could
suspicious
be a
at all,
cover.
or is he just comic relief?
He has found the place that he found it, and I don't know how he found it. That's my main suspicion.
Oh,
why did he?
When Pete calls it in?
Find it? Yeah, he's just like, I'm so sad.
Well, I thought that
the railroad.
Oh, the railroad.
Yeah, the
That's
box
right, the
car.
railroad.
He
place.
finds the box car, and I don't know how. And they just are like, yeah, he found it.
Okay.
And she's like, please don't tell him that I cried.
And how do you like this character?
I like her, but I think there's something to Andy that nobody's going to talk about, and I think he's a little suspicious.
Okay.
Because I don't know how he found the boxcar. That's my main suspicion.
That's interesting. This is another seemingly minor character, Major Briggs, Bobby's
Who's fantastic.
Father. Or is it Colonel? It's Colonel Briggs.
It's Colonel. Actually, he has. I don't see any insignia.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. Maybe no one has real credentials here.
Nobody's real.
Any first impressions about him that
I don't understand why he's always wearing a uniform.
Okay.
Wait, can you go back? I want to look at all those. Okay.
So, highly decorated, at least it looks like it to me. Let's see. And there's Dr. Jacoby.
Oh, he's interesting. I think he's very interesting. Now, Dr. Jacoby's weird because he has another necklace. And I can't tell if it's a different necklace or the same necklace. I think it's a different necklace in the coconut.
In the coconut, right? So there is the scene at the end of the first episode where
somebody digs it up.
Digs it up, right? James and Donna put the necklace in the ground in the middle of nowhere, seemingly, but someone apparently knew where it was. And so, who do you think it was that dug it up?
Okay, there's been a scene with Leo where he like throws a football and amazing feat onto the car with the drugs, and there's somebody standing in the background, dressed in like all black.
Okay, so something's going on.
Yeah, and so my thought is that is a person we don't know yet that dug it up.
Okay, So maybe it's so seeing Dr. Jacoby have another necklace doesn't necessarily mean that he dug it up.
Yeah, to me that means that's possibly another sexual partner.
Okay,
of Laura, because we know that she slept with 3 people.
Okay,
right.
So there's going to be a lot.
I think there's going to be more than 2 necklaces.
Okay.
I think there's going to be probably 3 to 4 necklaces. That's my prediction.
Is there anyone that any other characters that I didn't show you that are worth mentioning that you can remember?
Oh, the Native American
Hawk?
Yeah, Hawk.
Hawk, yeah, I should have gotten it.
Hawk's interesting.
Hawk's interesting. Do you think there's anything suspicious about Hawk?
No.
No? Okay.
I think he seems pretty trustworthy.
Okay.
We haven't seen him in much, and so that makes me go, yeah, he's probably fine.
Yeah.
Now, other interesting note, the other deputy, what's his name? Andy, yeah. Andy. He gets hit with a rock.
Yes.
He gets hit with a rock, and that rock's supposed to be leading us to the killer.
That's right, because he's using his Dale Cooper is using his
method,
his Tibetan monk kind of Zen method, and Andy gets hit with a rock.
Andy gets hit.
They're writing notes. Do they take note of that?
No, they don't.
Okay.
And so to me, that's like, it could be Andy. It could be Andy that ends up killing her. I don't know that. Like, maybe it's on accident.
So you made a lot of accusations.
I have, and I'm going to continue to.
So let's wrap this this discussion up with, let's maybe get who you think your top 3.
Okay.
Your top 3 are, and I want you to not only give us your guess, but also guess at a motivation.
Okay. So my still number 1 suspect is the dad.
All right, Leland Palmer. Okay. Any guess on motivation?
I think
circumstances, things like that.
I think in some regards, he wanted his daughter to stay pure.
Okay.
And so maybe after finding her in a state, he either killed her or found her dying, right? Because she died, supposedly so far, all I know is that she died of bleeding out. I think she may have drowned.
Okay.
I think maybe he thought she was dead, and he was like, "I'm just gonna push her into the ocean."
Okay, so
he's like, "I don't want anybody to know."
So we'll say Leland Palmer, suspect number 1, motivated by some kind of purity, shame kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2.
Number 2, or like some sick twisted thing, but I'm gonna go with the shame.
Okay.
Number 2 is going to be what was I gonna say? Leo.
All right, Leo.
I think.
Motivation claim?
Motivation, shady drug dealing, and he needed the money.
Okay.
Maybe he thought that it was going to intimidate. He also could have been motivated by like a sexual urge.
So something either criminal or yucky, pervy.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have a third suspect?
Yeah, my third suspect is Andy. Andy is my third suspect because he's crying, giving us the old lie cry, and he found that place. I don't know how he found that place.
It sounds like, did you make these discoveries as we were talking about it just now? Or
Andy's my new third suspect.
All right, so Andy's
I don't like
and any guess on if he did do it, like why or what the circumstances would be?
I think he probably thinks of himself as above the law. If he was the person who did it, he's like, yep, I'm above the law.
All right.
Because they can't find me. I'm a police officer.
Wow.
That's my thought.
Okay. Okay, so we have those 3 suspects. So if you want to, we can continue doing this.
Yes.
I don't know if there's an audience out there that's interested in watching this, but I'm fascinated by your hot take.
I'm excited to see how wrong I am.
I wish I could have just a little tiny bit of amnesia to watch these for the first time with you, but I'm enjoying watching you watch them. All right. Well, this has been an episode of Twin Peaks reaction Join us next time while Mackenzie tries to solve the mystery of Laura Palmer.
I just want to I just want to interrogate these people. They're not interrogating them.
They're just
like,
Dale
I don't have a
lets
badge.
people go. It's like sends like a little message. They're like, he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Let's let him.
But also, it's like, where's his badge?
Where's his badge? Where's his badge?
Where's his badge? Did he
do
this?
And we might be back again very soon.
Yeah.
If you if you have anything to say about the last 10 minutes of episode 3.
Okay.
Which, if I remember correctly, is an interesting last 10 minutes, unless I'm thinking of a different episode.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's it for now.
Goodbye.
Bye. Boom.